Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Motley Crue Studios. And here we are for another episode to sound your ears. And we are here in the Game Room Boulevard. Refresh. Renewed. Refurnished.
Hope your ears are ready to be sounded.
Jesus Christ.
And round one of the Rugby League 2024 is done and dusted. And wow, we're back into the grind, just like that.
Sorry, who's sounding these ears?
Oh, yes, right. We're the Motley Crue. My name's Jake. I'm here with Kyle, Cody. Ladies and gentlemen, we're doing fine on this great day.
Oh, you're speaking for
Yeah, I'm just going to keep talking. I don't want to hear your voice.
We're pretty good, actually.
I'm doing fine.
Yeah, I'm doing well.
Well is great.
No, well's a hole in ground.
Well.
The old dad jokes. Early.
Why do you fall in the well? Because you can't see that well. Fuck.
Stop it.
You love it.
Well, if you're still listening,
yeah.
Jake, take it away.
What are we talking about? Rugby League. Let's talk about Rugby League. Round one, babe. Round one's done. And this is what happened. Thursday night, the Raiders, they beat the very, very disappointing Newcastle Knights. 28-12.
Couldn't have been a better night.
And it kept going. The upset just kept rolling. The Sharks, 16, somehow beat the Warriors 12 in New Zealand. Don't know how they won that game, but they did. The Storm, they kept their streak alive to 23 years. Beat the Panthers, who? 8-0? 8-0, yes, that is what the score was. Parramatta, 26, get their season rolling with a dominant victory over a luckless Bulldogs, 8. The Dragons, 28. How many wins, Cody? How many wins for the season?
Yeah, Cody's already fucked his...
Yeah, I'm gone.
His ladder's gone.
The Dragons, 28, get more wins than Cody tipped them all year and pumped the very, very worrying Gold Coast Titans 4. And then the Cowboys, man, they run right, 43 points over the fucking Finns with the 18.
Love the way you string your sentences together.
There was not many commas in there, but that is the result.
No, what a full stops.
Of round one of Rugby League, of the 6 games that we had in lovely Australia.
How'd we all go, boys? How'd our tips go?
Well...
Did anyone top me?
You and
a whopping 50%.
Yeah, you and I were 4 out of 8 for the end of round one.
Let's go, baby.
It's pretty good, guys. There
was D-Gen down the end.
Over.
And then our host, Jake Carter.
Hostess with the mostess.
Mate, I tell you what, he was 0-5.
Oh, yeah. I was on fire.
He did finish strong. He finished with 2 out of 3. So
Jesus.
He finished 2 out of 8.
Don't worry. You did 2 better than Shambracken.
Wow.
She went the old duck egg. She said she's going to have to hit up the tipping community that she's a part of and see if she can get some points for that. Because she goes, it's just as hard to go 0-8 to get 8 out of 8.
Holy shit.
She went absolutely duck egg.
So she backed all the favourites that lost, and then the couple of upsets she went, the favourites won.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yep. Yeah, absolute duck eggs.
I think
Can you read this just to make sure? And I went through and I was like, oh, yep. And then she's like, and I've got the Dolphins in the last one. I said, well, they're down 24-6 at the moment, so you're in trouble.
Let's get to it. We're going to wrap around this round with some winners and losers. We're going to start off with positives, guys, or we're going to start negative?
No, I'm going to start with a positive,
I like
which
positives.
is probably a negative for you.
Uppers and downers.
So the top one for my winners, right, a winner for me for this week was Canberra, but not just because they beat the Knights. Like, I fucking loved every second sitting there watching the game with you, Jake.
It really was satisfying. Wasn't there, but...
And I've been very tempted to post some videos to our socials, but you were very naked, so I didn't want to, what would I say, allow our followers to have to endure that.
I was going to say, how'd you like it when I sent through the thunderclap?
Anyway, the reason why the Raiders are on the winners list for me, apart from beating the Knights, was because that's their first 13-plus win since 2022. How good.
Yeah,
that's a stat.
Jesus.
They went through all of last year without getting a 13-plus win, and the year that I've got them winning the spoon, they come out and do it against the Knights, and no better team to do it against. It was fucking great. It was...
What a way to start the year for them.
Mate, dead set. Ponga, who is she? Don't know.
Excuse me, you're talking about the Raiders are winning, okay? Let's keep it there.
I'm saying what Ricky Stewart said in the press conference. But I actually really do like the Raiders and how they looked. Somehow they gritted out a win. Their attack still looks trash, but their defense looks pretty good.
Hey, when you complete, 18 of 18 or 19 of 19, you're going to do something.
They're taking the cricket philosophy. Boring cricket is good cricket. Boring footy is good footy, apparently, in Canberra.
I think.
Did you see they've got that sign up in the fucking sheds too that just says "fuck them"?
Mm.
Yeah, because everyone's written them off. Everyone's saying they're going to get the spoon this year, and they're just using that, going, nah, righto. And just got a bit of something for you.
And just the classic Thursday night curse for the Newcastle Knights.
Just can't get it done.
Can't win on a Thursday night in McDonald Jones Stadium, not McDonald Janes.
We've played fucking 4 games there. Such
and you
a
can't,
shit stat, eh?
And just, if they do play another Thursday night game that's against a non-Queensland team, they still haven't beaten them.
Still haven't beaten anyone outside Queensland. I mean, shit stat, but it's 100% still so far, big fella. We've been talking about the Raiders, and he's still getting upset
because you start not talking about the Raiders. You keep angling it the wrong way. Well, that's not what we're talking about.
No, but we're talking
about how the Raiders are winners this week. I think the Raiders are winners this week because a lot of people have underestimated their team. No,
you did.
Yeah, you said Knights 20 plus.
Absolutely railed. You want them 20 plus.
Boy, I was here Thursday night. I was here in the Boulevard.
The Boulevard
on Thursday night, and Jake rocked up, and we had to obviously watch the game delayed because he rocked up later. But as he walked in the door, I was like, "Oh, hey mate, are you nervous about tonight?" He's like, "No."
No, wait, he had him 20 plus. He said, "What are the odds for 20 plus?"
There's a box there was a box in the lounge room that fucking got a hole in it because he kicked it.
Yeah,
I think it was about that time that the try that Ponga set up,
again, not
or the no try that the Ponga set up, got overturned because he was going to the kitchen. Ponga's gone through, and then he saw fucking Danny Levi or Hudson, whoever the fuck it was that ran into Frizzell, and he's like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, that's not going to be a try. It's going to be overturned," and just fucking wailed into this box.
Also got some brand new kindling too for the next fire that you have, the old Knights jersey.
Yeah, mate. I took it home and used it as toilet paper.
Yeah. Would have stained your ass off.
But yeah, that's how I see the Raiders as winners for this week.
Yeah, Raiders are big winners over there. Bloody oath. Absolutely smashed it. What about for you, Jake? What do you want to talk about?
Well, fucking might as well get there. I'll get to my first loser of the week.
Bullshit, no way.
And that is the Newcastle Knights. Okay? And I'm going to talk about the Knights because they're my loser of the week. I'm not going to talk about the Raiders. I'm talking about the Knights because they lost. And
who do they lose to?
Yeah, doesn't matter. We're talking about the loser, and the loser is
lost
Newcastle
to the winners,
Knights.
baby.
And I'm gonna put this in the terms what Kyle just tried to pretend. Okay, it sucks so much putting my team here, but this was the first time in years that I haven't been nervous going into round 1. I felt confident. I was just excited to get back onto it, back in it, smoking teas, scoring points, and then we played that fucking poorly. It was very, very disappointing. Like, we just disrespected the mighty Steeded, we disrespected the Green Machine, and we just played rubbish.
Well, you couldn't really disrespect it. You couldn't hold on to the fucking thing.
It was round. You guys were trying to play.
What do you do things you don't disrespect, Kyle? You don't fucking hold on to. You fucking throw it around, mate. Seriously.
You guys were trying to play like round 22, round 23, late in the year football. Raiders were just like, we're playing round 1, bash it up. You guys were going way too sideways, trying to go left, trying to go right.
We just thought we'd just win it, and no.
And the old number 1 looked like he'd never played a game of football in his life.
In hindsight, though, if that try was a try, I think
Hines didn't play.
We would have ran on and won that game. But it didn't happen because we sucked and we lost. Our forwards looked really slow. Man, Cogger needs to start. He's such a better player than Gamble.
I reckon they should have left Dylan Lucas on for longer. I thought the big Kai Pearce-Paul wasn't that impressive.
Oh,
no,
he went out in the centres.
And then he did go off with a HIA. So.
Yeah, Kai Pearce-Paul wasn't. Oh, he's a bigger man than I thought he was.
I like him. I think they should start him, start Dylan Lucas, and I think they're going to need to put Frizzell at 13.
I reckon he'd make a good centre.
So shit.
I reckon he'd make a good centre. I mean, I know you got centres. That Kai Pearce-Paul, he just didn't impress me too much. It looked like he was too big to have footwork. I reckon he could run a good line and might have some good leg drive, but it doesn't feel like he's got that lateral movement.
Could you maybe put him in at the 13 then?
Maybe.
Because that's a big body in the middle there.
Bloody oath it is. But I don't know if he's like...
And it looks like he's got an offload.
It's the lateral that I'm a little bit scared of. He looked a little bit...
Chuck him on the wing.
Yeah, get him out there. He's a big tall body. Bloody
like
oath.
Dom Young again. He'll be all right, eh?
He's the tallest one on the team. But yeah, you guys were poor. Your halves were a bit ordinary. I think there might be a change there this week.
I think they'll run it one more time, run it back
Reckon?
one more time. Yeah.
I mean, surely you couldn't play that bad 2 weeks in a row.
It was just a lot of attitude why we lost that game.
You guys just thought you were just going to roll all over it.
Yeah.
but
100%.
you needed to bash it up, and then there was just there's so many mistakes.
And then, like I said, I think if KP scored that try, or that was a try, I think we would have ran on and won the game because we would have that confidence in that. But it was definitely not a try because Danny Levi played it well. He played by the rules. He was not even going to fucking touch Kalen Ponga's fucking shadow, though. But anyway.
Yeah, I thought that one was a little bit.
We've seen it so many times now.
The old letter of the law, mate.
Yeah, but the letter of the law is like stopping in the line. There was no line to stop in.
But he was in front of the play, though.
Where's he going to go?
Well, where's
he going to go?
Nowhere.
Where's he going to go?
Nowhere.
I think we're done with talking about this game, and Newcastle Knights are my
That's
first loser.
Ponga should have not ran
First loser of the week.
Fuck.
Cody, where do you want to go? Positive, negative? Let's go to a different game, please.
Get me doobies up. Right, if we're going to go in sequential order.
Oh, are we?
Maybe. I'm going to go my winners. I feel like I've done a little slashy here. I've gone Sharks and Nico Hines.
Interesting.
Because Nico Hines, the Sharks, because they gritted it out, they were looking like they were going to get blown out early when big AFB went through. And they got that second try, and they were looking really. That was a good try from him. And I was like, the Knights are on here.
The Warriors.
Yes. The Warriors are on here. And it was looking that way. Then the Sharks just held in there. And come the back end, Hines is not known for it, but fuck, he was making some tackles. There was so many opportunities where they'd send a big body down his way, and you'd be thinking 7 times, 8 times out of 10, that person, they're breaking that tackle and either getting an offload or a quick play the ball. But Hines was ball and all tackling, chopping at the legs. He had an absolute blinder, and I'm the last person who thinks that he's a good defender.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe, and I'm like, they're my winners, to grit that out and get that win over a Red Hot Warriors team. But he was the winner for them on that right-hand side, just locking up in defense, because there was so many times they were sending big body after big body after big body, and he was just chopping them, ball and all. Absolutely killed it out there.
I just think that whole right-hand side defense, like he was the standout out of them, but that whole right side defense just seemed to just keep turning up.
But I felt like the right side, other than him, they all did their job, and it's normally him that's the weak spot, whereas he actually was like, nah. And I feel like that must have been what they put him through. Like, because as a halfback at training, you don't want to be making tackles. You don't want to
make him in the game. So.
You don't want to be in the sandpit just slugging it out. Whereas I feel like he's been in the lab and he's been making full contact tackling drills over the things, because he was hitting good spots, ball and all. Like, his technique was far better than what I'd seen it last year.
Yeah.
And that's my fucking winner.
I like that.
Bloody oath.
I do like that.
Ripping and a tearing out there.
Now, if I was to swing to a loser, to keep it sequential.
We can't talk about Jake on the podcast, can we?
Nah.
We're going sequential now. Keep going.
So I've got a two-parter.
Ooh.
So
show off.
Well, only because they're fairly quick. Well, the first one's a quick one. So
she said
the loser is anyone that had Nico Hines and or Nathan Cleary in their Supercoach team. I don't know if James swapped it, but I know at one point he had both of them. So if he did keep them, absolute rookie.
I was having a laugh until I realised I'd had Trindle, who scored 19, so it's even worse.
He got changed to 18, mate.
Oh, yes.
Because I got him as well. But the main one I wanted to get in there was back in the Knights-Raiders game. I think it was that game. No. Listen, all right? Before you start throwing your eggs, it's something that I want to see changed. And that is the crusher tackle, or the call of a crusher tackle at the line.
Oh, that one when he just, old mate, burrowed in.
He ducked his head.
He went head first and then spun.
Yeah.
Caused it himself.
And they got penalised for the crusher. So, by the letter of the law, it was a crusher because he put pressure on the back of the neck, right? It was Joe Tappaney who tried to dig in.
Yeah.
He ducked his head.
It was 100% his fault.
I don't like it. I think it is obviously going to be dangerous, but if the attacking player is going to duck their head to try and score a try and it results in pressure getting put on their neck, it's obviously not deliberate. The defender's just trying to stop the try. Because if you don't get down, he can just push over and score.
Yeah. Like, and he's put himself in that position.
Yes.
If you, as a defender, if you're just trying to stop the thing and someone comes in and lays underneath you like that, like, what do you can't just not.
So that was just,
let him.
That's just one from me. I didn't really like it. it is a penalty in the grand scheme of things, but I would like to see it changed in that scenario when they're diving for the line.
You've reminded me here, and I think I'm gonna piggyback onto that, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna add in to this loser things these rule tweaks and these rule changes that they're trying to implement this year around the little tiny things that they're trying to change, because I'm not liking it. The game, I can't remember if it was the Warriors game. I think it was the Warriors game. It was one of the slowest games of rugby league I've watched in a while because of these extra penalties that they were giving away for just dumb stuff. Like, apparently now you can't just run down, jump in the air and swing an arm out and pretend like you're catching it. That's a penalty. Not allowed to do that. Which I think, if me just running down there, jumping early, throwing an arm makes you drop the ball as a fullback, that's just unlucky, bro.
Yeah, get better.
Like, if I take you out or hit you in the head with my arm, fair play, penalty.
Yeah.
But there was one, they just ran down, he just jumped early, realised he'd mistimed it, and then just swiped in front of his face. Old mate's dropped the ball, penalty, can't do that. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. The leg pull, like, I understand you don't want them tipping, but there's that one where you go, okay, I can't get them to the ground. If I lift one leg off the ground, they're obviously going to be less balanced. We can get them to the ground.
No, but
play the ball.
I kind of agree with that one, because the tipping, like when guys get put on their heads, it's not usually from them getting like one-on-one or the hit. It's usually because they're trying to get him to the ground, and then old mate around the legs lifts it, but then the guys at the top are pulling him down, and then they
two legs, not one leg.
But one leg is what can start it.
It's just, there was a couple.
It's
there
just
where
trying to eradicate
like a normal one where they go and bang, old mate lifts the leg, they get him to the ground, penalty. And I'm just like, that's like, surely there's got to be a point. Like, that's got to be somewhat discretion, because that was shit. Yeah. That slows it down. And then the other one now where they're trying to protect kickers, like the field goal. In the field goal instance, I understand when they just throw 15 people there. And I was like, but the Roosters one I didn't think should have been. The only thing that made that worse was Victor Radley ran from the other side to stand right next to old mate.
Yeah.
Old mate was already there. He was well within his right to stay there. But Victor Radley made it more obvious by running around and standing right next to him. But the one in the Storm Panthers game, he was just running a decoy run. This was just in general play kick. He was running a decoy run, coming through as if he was going to get the ball. They've gone out the back of him to Hughes. Hughes has kicked the ball, but because of the rule and the interpretation, Cleary's just pinned it from marker and ran straight into old mate.
Yeah.
Through his arms, you can tell when someone's milking it, because that's not the natural way that would happen. He's hit the deck, penalty for a thing. I was like, no. See, if that rule's not there, he makes all the effort to get round that bloke, because he's just doing his job. It wasn't like he was just stood there. He was running a decoy. The ball goes out the back, and then he goes, well, I'll stop, because if I stop in the line, I'm obstructing, so I'll pull up early, and he's still getting pinned for it.
Yeah.
It's just bullshit.
They'll have to revisit it.
Let's get to it. My first win of the week, and this team was my team of the week. They just looked very, very good. And I was very, 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 very impressed, and that is the mighty Cowboys.
Very, 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 very
impressed, man. They scored 43 points. Drink water didn't even score, but they just looked fit, fast, and firing. And man, Holmes and Cotter, we already know it, but they are fucking animals, and I hate that they're Queenslanders, because they're fucking good players, man. They're just hectic, bro. They're scary. I love them. But man, Lukey, Nanai, and then fucking Funifaki off the bench.
Fuck off, Jesus Christ.
Those three edge rotation players, man, they're all really, really good.
Just throbbers, you reckon?
Throbbers, like teams. I don't know. I think Nanai's locked up, but these other two, I think teams could be trying to get these to their club. And then they had Tamalolo, who played 40 minutes, getting paid the most.
He played 21 minutes.
21 minutes. Yeah, wow.
Is that all he played?
Yeah.
Maybe it's
I was going to ask you guys,
what,
did he get it?
21 straight?
Yeah.
I don't
yeah,
know.
21 straight. I thought he came back on. Maybe because they were pumping, it was game over. They didn't bring him back on because they don't need to.
But I was going to actually ask you, because I didn't watch the game. I know nothing from that one. But I saw him only play 21 minutes. I was like, what, did he get injured?
Nah.
Because I've been looking at
fucking... any injury from it?
No injury. He looked good when he was out there.
I couldn't see anything on injuries either, to be honest.
He looked good when he played. He just went off early and then, never came back on.
Yeah, right.
I just think they didn't need him. So why risk him?
Yeah.
I'll be cheering. go out there in an NRL game earning $1 million a season just to play 21 minutes and then just sit there, brother. Yeah, sweet. Thanks, coach.
Yeah.
My feet are already up. I'm already in the ice bath.
Yeah, I've already had a shower. I had a shower at half time, bro.
But
You're on the fucking walkie-talkie, mate. Can you get back out there, brother? I'm at home. What do you mean? I'm watching on the TV. We're playing so good.
But the Cowboys look so good. And then I didn't even mention Laybart, and he was probably their MVP. He played so good for, 5 games in NRL? First game as starting centre. That's his spot this year. He can lock it down, and I think he's done a very good start to locking that spot down.
He didn't do any danger to that.
No.
Just going off the stats again, I didn't see the game, but just from the stats I seen, and Supercoach points, fucking raked him in.
Good.
I was happy with that.
Okay,
Val Holmes went fucking well good as well.
Okay, Cody, got any more negatives over there?
Oh, always, brother. I'm full of negatives down this end.
That's why him and I work well together. I'm positive, he's negative. little bit of science for the listeners.
I'm gonna go my losers. I'm gonna title it another bundle here because I don't like singling people out. You know me. I like to spread the joy. But I've got the Bulldogs / Jamin Salmon. And I mean, it's not Salmon's fault he got picked in that team. It's the coach's fault.
Sounds like you're singling someone out, eh?
No, he said the Bulldogs and.
Yeah. But.
So I just want to check, is Salmon going to be your Wakeham this year?
Absolutely. If he keeps getting selected, he's not. I mean, I know it's hard coming from a team that was successful that most of the players that are leaving the Panthers are like utilities and stuff because all the best players are in their specialist positions. And I'm like, but surely you pick a specialist lock to play that position. Like that's probably a specialist position. Like I know he's got a little bit of ball playing and whatnot, but I don't feel like he's a lock.
Well, that's because isn't he? What's his normal position? Like what's his? Is it 5/8?
Just fill spots. He just fills spots for the Panthers. When people are out, he just fills a spot. I'm sure he's played centers, back row, front row, hooker, fucking halves. And then he comes here and you got like a Josh Curran.
Tom Curran plays cricket.
Yeah. Running at refs, running at umpires. I feel like he should have got that position. Like there was just a couple of times when you could just tell Salmon wasn't quite up to it. He was out of position. The try that Bryce Cartwright scored was just one off the ruck. He just completely missed his assignment. I don't know who he was going for. There was no one else. It was just a one off the ruck, and he just went through and was just like, oh.
But I think,
and then one that led to an Eels try. He just comes out wide when he was playing centers, and goes to drop someone under and basically throws it at his knees. I was like, I thought you had some halves in you. Like, surely that's just a nice easy pop, or just hold the ball if you're not confident in throwing that pass.
Yeah.
And it led to an Eels try when the Bulldogs were starting to get that little bit of momentum, get that little bit of ascendancy. And
I do agree to a point, but at the same time, I feel like the Bulldogs are going to just take that little bit longer because their spine is practically brand new. Like if you're going to include Jamin Salmon if you're going to start including the lock in it as a spine piece, because the lock is, I feel like it's transitioning that way.
Yeah,
they're becoming an important part in a team's attack.
Yeah,
like they act as that second 5/8 almost, or even a halfback, considering the 5/8 is the fullback is basically like the second 5/8.
Yeah, but you got
so I get it, but I thought his work rate while he was in the center before he transitioned to the center in the lock before transitioning to the center, I thought it was good. Like, he was getting in and he was making his tackles, except for that one Bryce Cartwright.
I mean, come on. Well, I mean, and like just the Bulldogs as a whole, like I'm pretty sure at one point it was like 50-minute mark or the 55th minute mark, nobody on the Bulldogs team other than like the centers had more than, I think it was like 4 hit-ups. So the entire forward pack was just like at 3 and 4 hit-ups, which is just not good enough.
Yeah.
And you've just gone and signed Crichton. You've had Kickow there. And, like, I understand they didn't have much ball and much opportunity, but surely if you're not getting much ball and you don't have much opportunity, you'd be going to your big guns more often.
Yeah, that's
and like that, I think they'd had at one point like 3 runs each at about like the 60-minute mark, and then all of a sudden they go down that short side. Burton hits Kickow short, he gets half a break, offloads it out to Crichton, scores in the corner. That's like, oh wow, you've gone to your big guns, and it's worked. You've gone Burton to kick out of Crichton. You've scored a try. Where's this the rest of the game? Like, surely.
Yeah.
I just felt like overall their game plan was poor. I understand, like, it's first round and, just kicking everyone while they're down.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I forgot to put that disclaimer in. We all know it's only been one round, guys. Calm down. But we got to critique it how we saw it.
But they're also professionals.
Disclaimer.
Well, when you look at like them and how poor they were to a team like the Raiders, the Storm, that look like their defense at points was like they were trying to stay alive in the comp.
Yeah,
it's only first round.
Well,
like some teams come in fire and like they had a really good preseason. I don't know whether the Bulldogs, it was not the best preseason or they just had one bad game. Like, I understand there's new things, but like defense is an attitude. Attack, that'll come, but your defense, like, you can't be leaking points like that.
That gets me onto the defense. Gets me onto my next winner, which is Melbourne Storm and their defense.
Let's tag team this one because that's my last winner as well.
It was fucking unreal.
The way they were just turning up for each other time and time again.
Like, I dead set watching that game. I 100% thought that the Panthers were going to storm home because...
See what you did there.
Yeah, it was that pun was intended. Because with the last 10 minutes, the Storm looked absolutely fucked. Like, you just saw them. And, like, I thought Bellamy made a fucking horrendous decision pulling off Harry Grant, but Harry Grant must have just been that fucked.
Oh, yeah.
So, man, and in that last 5 minutes, every time they just kept turning up.
And Wishart goes out there, you're thinking he's going out there to play hooker. I reckon he had 5 or 6 hit-ups when he was in that hooker position because the boys were so busted. He was just fresh. He's like, right, give me the ball.
Yeah.
I'm going. I'm having a run.
Yeah.
And he was killing it. And then Harry Grant comes back on the end. That defense there felt like next week's the grand final.
Yeah.
The way they were just turning up and turning the Panthers away. Like, the pressure that they were putting on Cleary, like, he had no time to kick. They were just on him from the start. And the thing, like, the Storm, they're fit. And, like, they just kept coming and kept coming and kept coming. Like, is Max King? Or which one's the...
Josh King.
Josh King? Yeah, I know there's 2 of them. Josh King. Like, that one down where Cleary made that half break down the middle and he's the one turning and chasing and making the tackle. Like, you got your props putting in that sort of effort. No wonder that they were just turning up and turning up.
Yeah.
And another winner in that one, too, is old Pappy getting through another game. You love to see it.
Yeah.
He looked like he wasn't scared too. He wasn't hesitating. He looked like he was in that right mindset to just be ripping and tearing.
Yeah, I think the winners list will always include Pappy every time he makes it through a full game.
yeah. Just winner Pappy every time.
This is going to be going straight to you, Cody, because I got to ask you.
Oh.
How many wins, Cody? How many?
Hey?
How many wins this year?
0, baby.
Well, for me...
It's going to get taken off when they're over the cap.
The Dragons. The Dragons, man. Another winner for me. And I sort of agree with you, Cody. I had them coming second last year. I thought they weren't going to win many games. I did think maybe more than one, but I definitely did not think this game. And let's put it out there, they versed a team that looked pretty fucking shit too. The Dragons, they scored 28 points and only copped 4 on a dry track up at the Goldie. That's some good signs there for the whole season. That means they're buying into the new coach. They're buying into their defense and their game plan. And I think that's all good signs for the Dragons.
I feel like they just picked players in positions that they feel like will do the best job. Like, as much as
Lomax, you don't want to waste him. Maybe
as much as he's unhappy with being on the wing, like,
which makes no sense to me because, like, he wants to transition to fullback role, and from wing is the best place to do it. But anyway,
yeah, because you're going to be getting those tough carries from the back, like, and then it just puts Bird out there, takes less responsibility off him, makes his job simpler. Like, especially now that you got DeBallin back, in the side, he'll play. Will he be lock? Is he lock?
Yeah, he was meant to be, but he moved to front row because Blake Laurie was a late return.
Yeah. Okay.
And then another side note for that, who I thought was a fucking great pickup for him, was Raymond Fatala Mariner, who he was meant to be on the bench, but with the loss of Laurie, he came into the back row.
Yeah.
Though I'm just still not convinced. They played well.
I felt like Flanagan had a decent game as well.
But in saying that, they did versus the Titans, who are not although they've got Desi Hasler, they're still not the best defensive team.
No, and they are down a few players.
And they were also missing David Fafita. Kieran Foran was with late withdrawal. Jaden Campbell also missed. So that's 2-3 massive attacking pieces.
Bloody hell.
So great play from the Dragons. I'm not riding them just yet.
Friday night, Dally M.
Just to add a little bit of spice, because we're most likely going to be watching all the Friday night games.
Can we? I reckon we need a 3-2-1, but then we also need to get some sort of pro ratio going of who plays on Friday nights and stuff like that.
Pro ratio.
You can do the fucking algorithm for that.
I'll get one ready to go. We'll ask
games
Chat GDP divide by 100, divide by minutes, all that. But also
Chat GDP, can you tell me?
We'll get it sorted. Because at the moment, I'm like, mate, we're never going to hear about these plays in MVP chats, but, you know.
Oh, I'll tell you what, couple maybe.
Let's go.
Maybe.
Let's start off with once.
Yeah, definitely. We'll start off with once. Let's start alphabetical.
Spin me like that.
That just means I go first.
1 point for me.
Really? Okay, Jay.
Last name. Last name. We're saying last names.
Yeah, right.
1 point for me is Talon May from the Penrith Panthers.
Hey, you wrote my notes.
No
way. My notes.
Anyway, 1 point for me. In a losing team, I think he looked very hot for his first game back since a long time, since he's done his ACL, playing a different position. I think he looked the most threatening for the Panthers.
So he's put on that bit of size too. He's line running. He was all over it.
Yeah.
Defense, attack.
He looked hot.
He was
and if you didn't have him in your Supercoach team,
Rooster.
I think you guys should be getting him. Because he didn't score any points, he didn't get any try assists, and he scored a lot of points. So
just to play Panthers, one centre out, and then this bloke just comes in from the wing and just goes, "Gotcha, boys."
Yeah, no worries.
So Taylor May's 1 point for me.
Yeah, and I've also got Taylor May down for 1 point.
Oh,
nice.
So straight up with 2 points. Be Taylor May. My 1 point.
And he plays Friday next week too. He could be on for a fucking
couple of points.
Get a good lead happening.
My 1 point, I thought he made a lot of solid defensive plays for the Sharkies. And I love myself a bit of defense. And I think he was very underrated and didn't get a lot of credit. But Jesse Ramian got my 1 point because he was he also was a handful for the Warriors on the offensive end as well. So
what I've heard.
Well, I gave my 1 point to Jesse.
I hated that he played so good because he was defending against RTS and he just was...
He locked him down.
He locked him down, which sort of sucked because I wanted to see RTS fucking score a try, obviously. But anyway, let's get to my 2 points, and I'm going the same game, but I'm going the fucking machine, workhorse. He's a freak. It's Tohu Harris, man. 80 minutes, 237 meters, 37 tackles, no misses. Bruh, he's holding on by a bandage tape. And he's so good.
I'll tell you what, if Elastoplas was illegal in Rugby League, he's retired. He retired 3 years ago.
He's going to come out next year full mummified.
And I'm so happy it was one of my first picks in my draft because he's such a gun. It's lock and loaded. Tohu Harris props, 2 points.
Well, it's a big call here, but I've gone a winger. I've gone old Coatsy for 2, mate.
Hey.
The way he was fucking carrying the ball out of his end, he was putting his body on the line, the defensive reads that he was making, the amount of times he come in off the wing and made a defensive read to stop the attack, he nailed it every time. Normally when you're shooting off the wing, it's do or die. And there was a couple of times there, if they could get that one more pass, there's a 2-man overlap. And he is stopping the play every time. His yardage meters, everything. I just reckon he had a red hot fucking chop for those blokes. I've gone Coatsy for 2.
See, for me, for my 2 points, this bloke would have got on my 3, except his team lost. And he did everything he could and put his team on his back to try and get him the win. Even scored a meat pie. Adam Fanua-Blake got 2 points for me.
Big AFB.
He had himself an absolute game. 2 line breaks, a try, just busting tackles left, right and centre. As I said, if the Warriors went on to win that game, he got my 3 points. But unfortunately, they lost, so he'll get the 2.
The 2.
Man, for me, 3 points. Had to come from a winning team. It just had to. Just the merit. And I think this guy had an absolute ripper of a game. And that is Eli Katoa from the Melbourne Storm.
Eli Katoa. Yeah, right.
He just played really well. He was very threatening all day. Just solid defense, played 80 minutes. He looked like he could keep going. Did really well. So, yeah, Eli Katoa, like I said, a bit out there, but it was hard to pick. I just couldn't pick anyone from the Sharks. They just played too much of a team. There was no one shown it at them for me at all from the Sharks. So, yeah, I went Eli Katoa.
Nice.
Damn,
Cody,
brother.
Who you got? Who's your 3-pointer?
My 3-pointer, I'm going to tack on to what I was talking about earlier with one of my winners here. And purely based off his defensive efforts,
you and I have gone the same here.
I've gone Nico Hines.
You and I are the exact same.
Mate, a halfback making 21 tackles, 0 missed. He was making defensive read after defensive read. They had the big boppers going at him, and he was chopping down every single one of them. Like that win there was on the back of defense more than it was their attack. And he may not have had that many attacking stats, but for a halfback to make 21 tackles and not miss a single tackle.
And not just, second man in tackles either.
Yeah, they were one-on-ones. Like if he misses, there was a couple of them. If he misses, it's basically a try.
Yep.
Like you've only got the fullback coming in late, like trying to save that try.
You and I are on the same wavelength there, mate, because I was trying to find someone from Melbourne, but I just felt Melbourne
as a team.
They won it as a team. Like everyone
team.
turned up for each other.
The Sharks did.
So there we go. But
I thought we weren't doing it. I thought this was going to be fun, not be a popular contest, and you just go Nico Hines, you fucking losers.
Wait, no, it's defense. Never has he ever won any Dally M points off defense. I can tell you that right now. And if you can find another half this year to put in 21 tackles and no misses, I'll give you $100.
But also make the same important tackles he made during the game.
Just any half to make 21 tackles, 0 misses for the rest of the year. I'll give you $100.
And he forced 3 knock-ons from Jackson Ford. Quietly.
This isn't no fucking fairy tale fucking.
I thought I just got $100 in my pocket because I found a half that made more tackles, but he had
misses. Yeah, see.
Yeah, Jackson Hastings?
No, definitely not him.
I thought he made like 30 tackles or something, but anyway.
Oh, actually, let's check my boys' stats. Actually, no.
No, we're not getting into that. Nico Hines. So Nico Hines at the end of the first round of Friday Night Football is leading with 6 points.
Beautiful.
I love how he just thinks we're dick riding, and
I do.
We've laid out all our reasoning,
but I love it
behind the defence.
Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for listening, and that was round 1 of Rugby League with 6 games.
Stay filthy.
Fuck.
Love you.